Up, and we are live. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Charm City Beat. We are back. Zay Flowers is a free man, and we're going to talk about that along with a bunch of other Orioles and Ravens news. But before we get into Zay, let's talk a little bit about the Orioles. Orioles reported to spring training, right? And yeah, reported to spring training. Got some legends coming back. Let's talk about it.
I am super excited about Corbin Burns in the house. The Orioles shipped off Joey Ortiz and DL Hall. Decent prospects, but they're honestly buried in the Orioles farm system because the system's so deep and allowed to bring in a former Cy Young winning pitcher from the Milwaukee Brewers on a 1 year deal. We'll see if they resign him, but that's the super ace that we haven't had since honestly Mike Messina. So I'm super pumped about that, and it gave the Orioles a lot of momentum going into the spring, a year after they won 101 games in the American League East.
Russ?
Yeah, that was great. But then a day in the spring training, we got hit in the back of the head with a baseball bat.
That sucks.
Yeah, I
Hell,
wonder.
that was boring. That was a terrible day.
I wonder how much they. I think they honestly knew about Bradish and they knew about Means, and I think it led to them wanting to go out and get an arm on the market. I think they knew already that these guys aren't going to be available. Bradish is probably going to the knife. I know he says he might be back, but I've never seen a guy come back from a fucking elbow injury. It just
No, no,
extends the time he's going to be out because he'll come
we're
back, he'll
we're,
throw
re,
one
we're
pitch. Oh
replaying.
no, and he's get cut up.
We're just replaying what we did just less than a year ago with Batista. Oh no, he sprained it. No, he hasn't done anything yet. Oh look, he's throwing. Wait, he's throwing. Oh wait, never mind. He's gone. See that one concerns me. The
Yeah.
more I read and heard Elias talk about means, more just sounded like, yeah, we told him to wait. We know what he is. He'll be missed maybe the start of the season, maybe not be back too long. Gunners, that's early on, it's soreness and not serious, and then catchers, he wasn't gonna do anything anyway. And Elias pretty much said it's a common injury in that type of player.
Yeah.
The Bradish one, yeah, I'm with you. I think they had to know because yeah, that they got an ace right away, and then he's hurt. Like that's okay.
He may not be done yet. I think Dylan Cease is still in the market from the White Sox. There's still some other pitchers out there. There's some pitchers that haven't signed yet, like a Blake Snell who won the Cy Young last year for the National League. We'll see if the Orioles do that. I don't think they're going to. I mean, we'll see what they do. They have Wells, who pitched really well last year before he got hurt. He's a starter, so I think that they've got options, and it's still a better rotation I think than it was even last year because Means didn't pitch at all last year, and Burns better than Bradish. So there you go. Technically.
This all ahead of the upcoming spring training game this Saturday. Wow, baseball. We're gonna start hearing bat smack. February 24th against Boston at 105. It will be on Masson.
Madison showing games this year.
Are they gonna like come out for streaming app? Like when the fuck's that gonna happen?
Did we get that deal? Is they
Gerald,
Xfinity?
Gerald, the problem is they have an app. You just can't use it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, give me a subscription, bro. I will literally pay $10, $15 a month.
They don't care. They have you paying for cable. They don't care about your
pay for cable, Ross.
They don't care about. I'm telling you, this is what it might change eventually. But Angelos was like, no. You're paying me for your cable, which is way more I can get from you streamers, especially because that wasn't a thing when they started this. Now they're like, oh, no, you still give us your cable money. We want you to have a cable subscription to watch our games still.
Did they sign that deal with Xfinity?
Is there an Xfinity deal?
I saw that if the deal ends at the end of February, and then Xfinity won't carry Masson, I think there's no way they don't re-sign that deal. I'll be pissed if they don't because that's how I watch the Orioles. I pay for cable like a fucking boomer that I am.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, come on, and it's 2024. We are in the streaming wars. This is like, millennials. We don't have cable, like except.
But how much of their audience are the 50 and 60 and 45-year-olds Even a 35-year-old like me who just refuses to fucking find out what a fire stick is. I don't have time or energy to do
Probably a
anything.
lot. I'm
gotta
not saying.
Turn the
remember,
television on, and
baseball
there's the
sucked here
Orioles.
for a while.
Yeah, I'm not saying they need to get rid of cable. They just need to give the option for
I get this,
streaming
but like Jordan
subscription.
pointed out, most of the fans who are watching the Orioles because they've been terrible for long. We're watching before this whole streaming stuff. It's like, what's this confusion? Then I don't understand it. Oh, I want to watch that. Oh, it's on streaming. No, I'm not gonna watch it.
Nope, they ain't gotta fucking do it. That or I'm gonna go to the
I mean,
game.
yeah,
Well,
I mean, it might change. Like I said, we got new ownership.
yeah,
Give them time to do stuff. I mean, we don't use them. No one likes a massive deal anyway. We don't use the money right. Hopefully that changes, but
I will say because I have an HD antenna, I would be very happy if they went back to the old days of Orioles games on CBS. Give me WJZ baseball like I remember it as a kid. Fuck Madison.
hey, we should be
Go back.
happy the fact that they're having this spring training because I don't think Maston's had spring training games the past few years.
We'll give them a clap for that. We'll give them a little bit of a clap. We'll give them for that. No, opening day fast approaching. Wow, we're almost done February. Can't wait. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, anything else we're going on with the Orioles stuff that you guys want to talk about before we move on?
Jackson Holiday's in camp, number one prospect in baseball. This is the
Love
third year
it.
in a row the Orioles have had the first overall prospect, which is an MLB record. And they also have the number 10 player in I think it's a catching prospect that they got from the international market.
Mhm.
That very well could be the number one prospect next year, which is really crazy. But I think he's supposed to be the everyday second baseman. We'll see if he breaks camp. But it just gives them a really, really strong infield of Westberg, Henderson, and Jackson. That's unbelievable. I mean, it's all draft picks. Tyler
Yeah,
behind,
that's all
Riley behind the
homegrown.
plate. Like
Oh yeah,
wild times.
Definitely.
yeah. That's what we're talking about that last week. It's just unfortunately, I mean, they'll probably be like Adley. They'll probably wait a month. Just
The only reason I don't think so is that the difference between the two of them is that since Adley was promoted, they came out with a new rule that if the guy wins the rookie of the year, they'll get a compensation pick at the end of the first round. And Jackson Holiday is the betting favorite to win it. And so if the Orioles think he can legitimately win that award, they'll start him. And that's a free first round pick for the Orioles. I mean, I'll see what they do it. They got it last year with Gunner, which is really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, no, a lot of Orioles coverage coming, and we will be on top of it as it develops. Moving across Ravens walk to the Ravens, as I said at the top of the show, Zay Flowers is a free man. Let's get to that before we get down to business. Yeah, so the investigation into Zay Flowers has been closed with no charges being processed. Now, again, for the last few weeks, this man has been guilty in X Twitter jail, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He's been guilty in the eyes of the public. Of course, things started slowly coming out that he wasn't the main focus. But will the NFL have anything to do with this? Is there even a possibility of a punishment? I mean, this was a weird situation. I know they have a zero policy.
the NFL and Roger Goodell, of course, there is.
What would be the crime? I mean, because again, he's not guilty of anything.
I think there's no way the Ravens cut him. If there's, I feel like if he was actually like arrested and convicted, I think they'd have no choice. But I think now it's a little gray. They can get away with not doing it.
Yeah.
If he's guilty of anything, it's dropping the fucking football at the half-yard line and costing the fucking Super Bowl. But that's, you know what? Who am I to fucking say anything about that?
Still stings. Still fucking stings. No, I think this one's gonna be put to bed. Yeah, we'll never know what's gonna happen. I think Ross, what were you saying? What was up with the police report? Apparently that was pretty confusing. I remember you saying something before.
Oh no! Apparently, at first it got reported in Boston for some reason. Like her dad and brother went in, and they were like, "I don't want to say who it was. It's a football player, yeah." It got weird. Then somehow Baltimore County got involved. Happened before the divisional round.
That's what's crazy. We didn't even hear anything about it until after the AFC Championship.
So,
Of course, it's like shit. Really, I'll never
Not a
forget.
good week for old Zay Zay.
That was not a good month, man. Fuck, dropping touchdowns that could have took you to the Super Bowl, and yeah, we're trying to get past it. We are trying to get past it. Honestly,
Of all the free agents that the Ravens didn't resign, I think who are you the most depressed about or sad about?
Zeitler.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
He's costing us $4.86 million not to play it here now.
see, I'm thinking from a money point of view, just what he's meant to the team. And I think Zeitler's at the top of that list. Guy Subbert's at number 2, in my opinion, because who the fuck else do we have at running back right now? Like, that's a thing.
I agree, but as people also pointed out, he went from averaging over 5 yards a carry
That's
to
true.
barely getting 4.
That's true.
Is he a system back? Do you feel like could like my grandmother get 4 yards a carry? That's the question I'm asking myself. And part of me thinks it's true. Like I also think that they're gonna get somebody, they might pay for somebody. They're getting linked to Saquon Barkley, they're getting linked to Derrick Henry.
I've moved to Team Henry. I wasn't for Team Henry, but that's when we had Gus Edwards. Now that it will be Derrick Henry paired up with someone else. I've become Team Henry.
So
no one respects the running game. And I know they do, but they don't. Like, can you imagine with a Derrick Henry, like the fucking defense, they're gonna be like, God damn it. The hell.
honestly, I do have an opinion on Henry because I was Team Henry for a while. I was like, dude, this is fucking perfect. Dude's built like a goddamn fucking linebacker and runs as fast as a damn car. So I was originally on Henry's side, but then I started looking around. You know who else could be available? Josh Jacobs. Come
His
on.
brother goes to Maryland or went to Maryland.
Come on. Somebody tap that kid and have him recruit him. Josh Jacobs is also under 30. I think he's like 25 or so. I think he would definitely be in a position looking for a resurgence. I say, why not? I would pick him over Derrick Henry, honestly. Derrick Henry's getting older and slower as we go.
We also saw a stat with
We don't
Derrick
have a lot
Henry
of
where he is I mean, we all see it. He's the kind of running back that needs like 15 carries before he can get a positive yard, and then he gets 200 yards,
Yeah.
like 6 carries. And which is I'm exaggerating, but it's kind of true. But also, he's not very good at like the whole. He needs to be behind the running back and get a running start, and it's just I don't think he exactly is a fit for. I mean, he'd be good, no doubt, but I don't think he's the perfect fit. I think to your point, I think a Josh Jacobs would be a lot better for the offense that the Ravens run, which is like very pistol-ish
Yeah.
type of thing.
That or the rumored potential cap casualty from Cleveland, Nick Chubb.
Do we want any more fucking injured running backs?
I know, right?
We already have one in the stable. We already got one. Some people want to sign back.
back.
Some people don't want to sign back. And
Did we re-sign JK? I mean, does he come back? I don't know.
I could see it.
I said as long as we have a better backup plan than we've had before.
If you're JK, do you come?
If all else fails, JK could be a very good discount buy. Again, I personally am in Team Josh Jacobs right now. If the money's right and we can make it happen, why the fuck not? But no, if not, J.K. Dobbins, I can't imagine him turning down a discounted contract, though. I don't know what his relationship with the Ravens after all this shit is now, so we don't know.
Yeah. And I think by November we'll have Mitchell back, probably.
That's what we need. When did you say again?
Probably November, right? Like it's like how long is a knee injury? And he hit that shit in what, December? So it's essentially a year. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, so
it depends if they want to activate him, but he led the NFL in yards per carry, and we all saw it.
Yeah.
He's explosive. He probably win the fucking game against Chiefs if he plays. Maybe.
Yeah.
100%. You pair that up with Henry? Because if you have Mitchell, if you had Josh Jacobs, are you taking him off the field for Mitchell? That is the problem. Josh Jacobs is going to want to be on the field more, I feel.
If he outperforms, fuck yeah.
Take every running back. It's the NFL. I mean, even when Josh Jacobs with Oakland and stuff, he was in a tandem type of thing. I mean,
yeah, he was. That's
enough
the new
carries
NFL
around
right
this
now.
offense. The big thing is they're probably not bringing back OBJ. Who are they replacing him with? Are they going to replace him? I mean, I don't think Bateman got last. I thought Bateman had a good year. I don't think the tape supported that, which I don't believe either necessarily. Like my eye test was like he dropped some opportunities, but he looked good in a lot of. I don't know your thoughts.
The more and more tape that people show of basically him getting wide open and not getting targeted, that's what leads me to people also pointing out this hopefully will be his first full off season with
Yeah.
Lamar. Hopefully he is living on Lamar's couch. I don't care what he does. He needs to be with Lamar all summer. They need to get chemistry together, just like he did with Zay all the time. Just like he's been hurt. Hopefully he can have a healthy offseason,
Yeah.
healthy training camp, and have what we've been having lately. People blow up in their fourth year.
Yeah. Well, if all those fails, we got Nelson Aguilar. They just re-signed him to a 1-year contract for $3.75 million. Again, losing OBJ for the mentor point of view, from that standpoint, that's going to suck a little bit. But I think Zay Flowers took as much as he probably could from him, honestly.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
We didn't see OBJ did nothing down the stretch. I thought. I mean, he had okay games, but he was not nearly as impactful in that Chiefs game as I thought he could have been.
Yeah.
There were times when he was even on the football field, and I think the whole offense was just a hot fucking mess in that football game, which is really unfortunate. I feel like the one time we didn't need that was in that game. Like, oh, but we'll see what happens. But I think Zay Flowers is going to step up. He looked great in that game, even with the fumble. So I mean that's what it is. I think he's going to have a huge year.
Yeah, I think it's Zay number one. Bateman, if he busts his ass this season, really gets that chemistry down, number two. And then Nelson, we'll see what happens in the draft and free agency. Go from there.
Mark Andrews and Likely. I mean, I think Likely can
Can't forget
become
them.
that big-bodied guy that you kind of miss with OBJ.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just looking at everything, we talked about, of course, the running back room's a little scary, but there's options out there. The only real room right now that worries me is that offensive line. Because right now it's Tyler Linderbaum and who?
The first-round draft pick, most likely. I think the Ravens are going to go heavy O-line. I think they might sign somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do with Stanley because he's a liability. It costs a whole lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, as of right now, him and Moses aren't going anywhere because they're the only Moses and Linderbaum are the only stable pieces. I mean, we have Voorhees coming up, but who knows what the hell he can do? We haven't.
Yeah.
He hasn't done shit since he got drafted because he was hurt. Well, he doesn't become another Ajabu situation where like he's good, but always hurt.
Yeah.
As of right now, we need 2 guards.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing. Without a doubt, we're drafting someone big early. I think this is the first draft without a doubt. I'm saying go big early. Just it's too gaping of a hole, and our offense needs that offensive line for what Lamar Jackson needs to do. We need a new line.
We're at a point where like I'm cool with it. Like we've gotten so many skill guys the last few years, whether it receiver, whether it was linebacker, whether it was the defensive like at defensive end. Like I feel like we've gotten so many guys that I'm cool with getting a guy and let's clog up that middle and let's solidify that offensive line for the next 10 years. And you paid for Lamar, now you got to protect him because without time, he's useless. It seems.
Yeah, you pay Lamar, you got him his weapons. Now you got to protect him. You got to
build that wall around
get to those weapons. There's been times in that Chiefs game on the strip sack because of Stanley. Lamar was about to crank it deep to Bateman.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't. A lot of times, everyone's like, "Oh, look, Lamar's fumbling." He's about to throw it, but Stanley let the guy rip around his corner.
I mean, oh God, that's my frustration right now with Ronnie Stanley. What are we gonna do with him?
He ain't going anywhere. It'll cost us think too much to leave.
And it's like you're not gonna start anyone probably over him. I mean, that's the thing. He's a lock. I mean, who knows? Maybe this offseason, get some rest and relaxation. Maybe get in super tip top shape. I don't know. I'm an optimist. I am an optimist.
I mean, he could. I guess he could restructure, but I don't think there's any reason why he would want to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't if I were him.
Fuck that. No. Because like fuck that.
And Humphrey is the other one. Like Martin Humphrey, I think, is he going to be healthy? And is he a liability? Like he's getting both of those concerns now in his as he gets older. Like I love him to death, but you can't rely on him. And then he gets burnt. Like he's toast unless he's been out there for a few games.
I could see Marlon working something out.
Yeah, I think so too.
I truly think because again, right now, there's again gaping holes on our defense. That safety, that third safety situation. I don't think too much of a problem, but then you also have to talk about Justin Madubuike, who is either going to be extended or franchise tagged, which that watch is underway. We have until March 5th at 4 p.m. to place a tag on him, which comes with a price tag of about 21 mil.
Patrick Queen's the other one where I think Eric DeCosta.
Yeah,
I didn't think they would resign, but then Eric DeCosta comes out and says they've got a plan for Patrick Queen, and that surprised me a little bit because of all the positions, you've got a Simpson sitting right behind him who looked absolutely phenomenal against Pittsburgh Steelers. And I would love to give him a shot and not pay Patrick Queen off the ball money. And you could send that money towards other guys, a free agent or resigning Zeke. I just don't understand that. As good as Patrick Queen is.
I've sort of come to terms that Queen wasn't going to be here. As much as I've said they're going to find a way, but I kind of like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Like too many holes.
I think
we have more holes.
Oh, sorry. I think with him being all pro this year, I think a hometown discount, that's out the door. There's no way. The only way I could really see it is if Justin really earned his money and they make or move some money around to franchise tag. That's the only way. I don't see him getting an extended contract, but I could see them franchise tagging him, seeing what they have in Simpson, another full season with Simpson, and then go from there. But I do think if this is the case, this is definitely P2's last year in Baltimore.
I think that's a good call. I think they could end up paying Madubuike. Structuring that deal in a way that it sort of hits differently than the Mars, but also doesn't infringe them this year. And then franchise tag Queen, get one more year out of him and one more year out of Simpson. At a linebacking price versus the defensive end price versus that free. I'm with you. I think that might be what they end up doing.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I mean, yeah. What do you think with Rock Ya-Sin? He's still there. I could see them picking him up.
I pointed out all those people who they did not come to a deal with. If you pay them back, you're paying them twice.
That's true too.
I mean, why are you going to pay him $1.6 million plus whatever you have to extend him to? I mean, basically, as they point out, to be a reserve and special teams player. He definitely wasn't the Paracus Peters replacement we thought we were getting. I mean, like I said, the only one that I could see that we didn't restructure or resign and bring back would be Gino because he's only costing $600,000.
Yeah,
in dead money.
Did you see what he tweeted? I mean, he earned it, but it's like so funny for a guy that was nothing until we brought him up and made him into what he was, put him in that situation. Now it's like they don't respect me. It's like, motherfucker, you played all the snaps in the back end of that defense, and you led the NFL interceptions. Like, shut the fuck up.
What do you mean not respect? We drafted you and then brought you back.
Yeah, what was that? What was the tweet exactly? It was like, I want to go to a place that I'm appreciated.
Oh, yeah, that rubbed me wrong a little bit because I think there's appreciating someone and then not paying you because you're third on the fucking depth chart behind fucking All-Pro and Kyle Hamilton and a former All-Pro Williams who's getting paid because he's a fucking veteran.
That to me, that is
sure.
I think what we could call free agency talk. Let's be honest here. You got to talk shit about your old team. You got to make it sound like you want to go somewhere, so that people want to roll out
wrote that shit for him. Yeah,
and I think that's a majority of what that situation. I don't have a doubt in my mind that he felt unappreciated, given the fact that Yo was a backup last year. Wait, was he even on? I don't even know where he was last
He
year.
was a backup his entire career. I think he got thrusted in the spotlight because Williams
Yeah.
tore his like shoulder game one, snap one, and then Kyle Hamilton was kind of flushed into that linebacking role a little bit. I
Hmm.
mean, he's invaluable, no doubt.
Yeah, very valuable, but
No,
I just don't.
that invaluable.
But at 600,000, I could see the Ravens. If nobody picks up Gino, I think that's what it is. They're going to let him test the waters without a
Okay,
question.
he's definitely going to be like, good, see what happens.
Yeah,
He's gonna get paid somewhere. It's gonna be like St. Louis. I mean, sorry, Los Angeles, or it'll
not
be
St.
like
Louis.
it'll be a team that can afford to pay him just a little bit more than everyone else, and then he'll be a starter for like Tennessee Titans. You know what I mean? That kind of deal. I can see that
Yeah.
happening, where it's a guy that give him a shot, bring in
Like
six,
Elliott.
7 interceptions a
Yeah, I
year.
was
It's a
about to
game.
say Deshaun Elliott, just like him,
But
100%.
how much was he a system? I mean, it's got to be fun to play fucking safety on a team that has four fucking all pros on defense and Mike McDonald calling the plays. Like, I
Yeah.
would think that in any other system, he's going to get exposed quite quickly. I think they mirrored, I think they hid a lot of his deficiencies in that defense and allowed him to do what he was doing because you had guys like Williams and Kyle Hamilton on the back end and Roquan Smith and all that stuff. That's
Again,
my feeling. I think he's good,
because
but he
oh, sorry. No, because we play the defense we play, again, he was essentially able to just be an athlete. I don't think there was a lot of like serious read coverage that he really had to deal with again out there, just based on how our defense is set up. So we were able to just do whatever the fuck you really want. You're going to make super duper plays. You're going to catch offenses by surprise. And that was, again, just the luxury we had last season, which also does make last season so much more frustrating. We had a lot of luxuries that we've never had to be able to do a lot of crazy shit, a lot of crazy blitz packages, coverage, and hiding and scheming. That's something that I hope we have in some way our capacity, but definitely a luxury that we may have dropped.
and that's the Pat Queen argument. Like I feel like so much of
Mhm.
Pat Queen's game is the fact that it's the Ray Lewis effect. He has Roquan Smith and he's at Matabuke and he's got Kyle Hamilton around him. You're going to flourish in that role just because you can do whatever you want. You can blitz, you can drop into coverage, you can just
Damn
put
it,
your
if he
head down
wasn't the best at doing that, though. Good
and
God.
and so that's why he won All Pro is because he had these great games and stats. But we saw him what he was when he didn't have a Roquan Smith next to him. And it was, is he even going to be cut? Is he going to be even re-signed? It's an unbelievable thing. And so I think it's a kudos to Mike McDonald's defense, Mike McDonald rather, who's gone too. I mean, since we last chatted, boys, Zach. I mean, at least me anyway. Zach. I mean, Orr is now the
Yeah.
defensive coordinator for the Ravens, and I think it'll be a little more the same, but maybe a little bit more different. I'm excited for it.
Oh, you should still have the playbook. And especially, again, your inside linebacker coach, which essentially is the QB room of the defense.
Yeah,
That's just incredible to have.
yeah, like I pointed out, he already has Roquan Smith on his side.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get more respect from the rest of your defense when you already have Roquan's like, hey, listen to him. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, Mister. Yes, Mr. Smith.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. I mean, the fact that you have your leader on your side, that's going to make that transition real smooth. In fact, it may not even feel like a transition for most. Yeah, just ending, looking at the last thing. It looks like the assistant wide receiver coach, Keith Williams, another coach, leaving the Ravens to join the Saints as their wide receiver coach, which also goes to show you just how awesome we did at receiver just compared to the year before. The fact that our receiver coach is getting poached, that's good job. I'll tell we can eat that one. But yeah, any last thoughts before we get out of here, Jordan?
I think the Ravens, I think by the fact that their defensive coordinator got hired, their head of scouting got hired as the next GM of the, I think it's the Chargers. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
I think, and the wide receiver coach, obviously, I think a lot of guys, I think the Ravens sort of showcased what a modern NFL team looks like. And I think that the Chiefs game was honestly an anomaly in an otherwise really dominant season. And even with the loss of personnel, I do think that they're built structurally and systematically to succeed in this league. And I think another good NFL draft is going to bolster this team and more
Yeah.
good free agent pickups. And it probably doesn't quite matter who they get at running back. I think he's going to have a good year, but I'm hoping they do get a splash because I think they need something on that side of the ball in that position to really put teams on edge. Because I think right now they can still they can sort of disrespect the run game to a point, which it's hard to fathom, but that's what it is. And I'm saying for the Orioles. There you go.
Yeah, that a premier running back is something we have not had here in a while. We've always thought we were getting close with A Rice, and then his stupidity, and now we got JK. And, okay, now he's hurt again, and then again. So there we go into the playoffs with Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, and
Dalvin Cook.
They're sitting there as our
allegedly
running backs, and yeah, like I said, how are you gonna disrespect the running game for the Ravens? Like, well, no, I got a good running back. Like I said, we've built wide receivers. We finally like, hey, oh crap, they got wide receivers now.
Yeah,
so we rebuild our line again. We've done it before, and did we get a running back? Everyone like, well, we just only carry it 6. I don't think we're only going to carry it 6 times. So we have a Derrick Henry, a Josh Jacobs, a Saquon, any of them.
Yeah,
we get a high draft pick that doesn't get hurt. But
Yeah, solid running back in the 4th round, probably. Sorry, I digress. But I don't think it costs that much and needs it in this day of age to get a good running back. Unfortunately for those guys.
We got fucking what's his name? Keaton off of what? Free agency, undrafted.
Yeah.
Anything's possible, especially a running back now. Again, the sport has changed so much just in the last 20, 30 years, where again, running backs used to go. That was one of the first picks easily. Now you're not seeing them pick till the 2nd, 3rd. You know, that first round running back doesn't usually exist. And again, I'm totally confident in what EDC and that front office can do. If this past year didn't show you just how much of a rework and rebuild that we kind of semi went through to what we have now, it's absolutely incredible. And going to the Orioles again, Baltimore. I don't know what it is about Baltimore front offices, but they are on fire because the Orioles are where they are. Both teams, a lot of heartbreak, but the off season for the Ravens, this is where the real fun begins, and the Orioles season is right around the corner, and we're going to be covering that.
Apparently, the Camden Yards is one of the finalists for an All-Star game coming up soon.
Yes, I did see that. That's awesome.
Dude, that's 2029.
Yeah, I'll be 40. Ooh, that'll be my 40th, around my 40th birthday. Damn, getting old. Yeah, so the Orioles could be potentially a all-star game host, which would be pretty awesome for the city again, as they're trying to rebuild Baltimore in a way. But yeah, I don't know, a lot of good news, a lot of stuff to talk about in the coming weeks. We will be here covering that here at Charm City Media. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned.